Welcome back to our show. I'm sitting here with the author of Life Unwrapped, Terry Klein. Terry, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you. I already feel more positive just with your presence here. You exude positivity.
Oh, that's a nice thing to say.
You really do.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome, and you're here to promote your book, which congratulations on your book, Life Unwrapped. Now we do have the book wrapped so that we can metaphorically unwrap the book, take it out. But there's a lot of meaning behind the book for you. It's very personal for you. Tell me about your inspiration.
Well, it seems we all are inspired by so many people and so many situations in life, and I call those people my circle of love. Okay. But my dear mother was by far my greatest inspiration, hands down. Yeah. And the chapter in her life that inspired me most was her journey with cancer and her subsequent passing. Right. And I would have to say that changed my entire perspective on life. And I mean for good. Right. And my mother had the gifts, several gifts, and she shared with me her gift of poetry and her passion for life. Yeah. And one of the things she said to me, really as one of her last wishes, she was in a coma, and when she came out, actually it's an amazing story, she turned to me and said, "Terry, will you please promise me that you will take these messages out to the world and share them with others, because they will help people in tremendous ways." And so I did. So it's amazing. Dedicated to her. It carries her legacy on and her life lessons.
That's really amazing. And I can completely relate. I've been through a similar situation myself, so it's very touching. Now maybe you could read us an excerpt from the book.
Sure.
That would be great.
My morning prayer is what I recite every single morning, and it really sets the tone for my entire day. And I say every word. It doesn't matter how rushed I am. I might speed it up a little, but I say every word, because the words remind me of my many blessings, and they guide me and they direct me towards where my thoughts need to be, towards gratitude and appreciation. So I would love to read a short part from that.
That's great. We'd love to hear it.
Dear God, thank you for the morning light and for allowing me to survive the night. Thank you for helping me to rise. I will use good judgment and try to be wise. And even if the sun won't shine, I will own today and make it mine. Thank you for the gift of my health, as this by far defines my wealth. Thank you for the gift of my smile. Oh, and thank you, dear God, for letting me stay a while. I can walk, dance, sing, and laugh. Oh, lucky me. I can feel, hear, smell, touch, and such beauty I can see. What an abundance of blessings surround that are just waiting to be found. My heart swells with thanks, and I do promise today to do my very best in every possible way to spread the magic of life, to deal with both the sweet and the sour, because every day is precious, as is every hour.
Wow, that was beautiful.
It's the beginning, but you know what?
That's the beginning.
It's the beginning of a long poem, and it sets the tone of no matter what's going on outside, no matter if you stub your toe when you're getting out of bed, or if it's raining, or if the car doesn't start, it's okay.
Right. Yeah. There's always going to be setbacks, but it's about looking forward.
Sure. It's a gift, that new day. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are breathing. Is that just a given?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, we should be appreciative of every moment, good or bad. Mm-hmm. Take everything in stride. Now, you wear many hats, and multi-talented, author, poet, obviously, because that was so smooth and very poetic. You're a motivational speaker, teacher, life coach, lifelong student. Explain, what it's like to wear so many hats and have so many interests.
It's almost essentially one, because you're real. When you're authentic and real, the journey is simple. It's the process that is beautiful. So my number one priority is to take care of myself so that I can take care of my 3 children and my husband and my family to the best of my capability. And then teaching the world, it's teaching myself and teaching the world, and the world teaches me every day. So I'm this lifelong student, because wherever I go, the people I meet always share things that help me to move forward. And you know what? It's just empowerment and motivation is something that I'm passionate about. And Life Unwrapped expresses that on so many levels.
Okay, have you always been such a positive person, or is it something that changed in you?
Well, my mother told me I was the happiest child on earth, and I would definitely say that I was, to a certain point.
Right.
And probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I would have to say I was struggling in some fears and wondering, seeking depth and meaning. And then when my mother was diagnosed with this terrible, rarest form of cancer, everything changed, because it's like, life is so fragile. You know what? Move forward or drown.
Yeah.
So at that point was when I realized, unwrap. That's when I started writing. That's when I started reading inspirational books and attracting the most beautiful women and people into my life who took me to the next level.
Okay.
And the unwrapping is amazing.
Yeah. Well, a line that I heard, and I think it was actually in a movie, and it was just as simple as, nothing is trivial. And it's so true, but we forget that. We get caught up in the everyday grind, and we forget that.
And there are so many spiritual books out there, but it's Life Unwrapped is so different, because it really looks at the whole. It's like an ageless and timeless resource, and it's full of these practical life lessons and tools and coping strategies that are really about day-to-day living.
Right.
And so they, and this is done so like a poetic song, so it's different. But at the same time, it takes the reader on this journey that they can navigate their own lives towards this place. It's not like, it looks at really all levels. Mm-hmm. So people who are suffering from the more basic things to the most tragic, there are tools for all of them.
Yeah. And do you have a book signing coming up?
I do.
Yes?
I do.
Okay.
I have one at Yorkdale, at the Indigo at Yorkdale, this coming Monday, September 20th, from 1 to 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be some viewers watching right now that would love to meet you and love to read your book and have it signed.
I would love to talk one-on-one. That's what that's about for me.
Yeah.
Really get to know people.
Well, I mean, and one thing that you did mention is that you, for many years, were wrapped up in false beliefs as well as limiting fears and excuses. Explain what that means.
Well, it means that life is turbulent and you have to figure out how you're going to deal with it. Well, for me, I was at that time, even though I had everything, I was trying to find my meaning and my happiness, but I was fearful and they got the best of me. I made excuses as to why I wasn't good enough to write. I sat in these false beliefs that were really just handed down to me, things that I had heard, labels and judgments that were incorrect. Okay. So I had to let go of those and unlearn the things that I thought were right about me.
And unwrap.
And unwrap and evolve.
Yeah.
And grow and renew. That's the only way we can move forward.
Well, that's great. It's so positive and motivating, and I encourage all our viewers at home to check out your book. It was great having you here with us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time. And you can get more information about Terry Klein and Life Unwraps at unwrapyourlife.com. And when we come back, Alana will be in the kitchen cooking with Crepe Delicious. Delicious. Stay tuned.